Welcome to the Man Cave, everybody. I'm Raphael Leah.
And I'm John Jackson. This episode, we're going to be talking about the NBA because we're getting closer and closer to that NBA championship.
And one team that we didn't think would be gone at this point is gone. Today is Friday, the 13th of May, but as far as unlucky goes, Gregg Popovich had his Friday the 13th yesterday. The Spurs, despite our opinions, lost. Despite our predictions, rather.
Yeah, what were our predictions? Did I say like Spurs in 5 or Spurs sleeping or something like that?
I thought it was Spurs in like 5 or 6.
I think everybody agreed with that.
I didn't think it would get to 6 or 7. But no, the Oklahoma City Thunder will be advancing to play the Golden State Warriors. That's got to be a win and a lose feeling, honestly.
It really is. But that was amazing what they did. Everybody expected the Spurs to win. Now, it was a matter of whether they said 4, 5, or 6. But Oklahoma City won in 6 games. They didn't even bring it to Game 7.
Yeah, that's
didn't have to go that far.
Even when they were leading going into Game 6, I figured it's still going to go into Game 7.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were down by like 20 points going into the fourth quarter. I said, they'll come back.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Once I saw the score going into the fourth quarter, I was like, it's over.
So the Spurs, the big decision now is for their 40-year-old player, Tim Duncan. Is he going to retire or not? He's 40. So. It seems like he hasn't missed a beat. The guy's amazing, and he really doesn't need to retire, some may think. But you're 40.
Yeah,
You're usually retired before that.
And you know what? He's done enough. He has enough on his repertoire to just go and retire. Just go and retire. He has more than enough and I don't think he would come back. They
have an old team, and that could be a very different looking team next year. But this year they were, in the regular season, amazing. If it was not for the Golden State Warriors, everybody would be talking about the Spurs and how amazing their season is.
Well, if it wasn't for the Golden State Warriors, they'd be the first team ever to be undefeated at home.
They weren't undefeated at home. Well, yeah, because of that. You got a point there.
I did.
It was amazing. And now, like Raphael said, they're going to be taking on Golden State.
Indeed.
Do you think they stand any chance, Oklahoma City, against Golden State? Real quick.
No.
I say no as well.
But I do want to call you out because you did say that the Spurs were the best team in the NBA despite Golden State without Steph Curry. You said, who's the better team? I said, who's the better team in the NBA? If it's not Golden State with Steph Curry, you said the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, but let me clear up what you're trying to say.
Okay.
If they were to face each other, Golden State without Curry, and,
do you still hold that belief?
I still think that could have happened.
Then, by that same token, you think that, you're saying without Steph Curry.
2 different teams, yeah.
Okay.
2 different teams.
You still think the Thunder would beat Golden State, then?
No, I do not say that. Because again...
But the Thunder just...
Yeah, I know, but that doesn't always work that way. It's weird. Like, I would tend to say that, but it doesn't work that way. Different teams, different matchups, different times. So, no, I think Golden State's going to win. But I think...
Give me an over... Do you think over under 5 games? 5.5 games. So do you think it goes to game 6 or 7? Or
under.
Do you think
I say in 5. I say Golden State in 5.
I agree with you. I think that it's going to end under 5. I think Thunder could put up a fight for a game or 2, but I don't think they'll get that second game.
So before we go to the East semifinals, or that's what you have there, the East finals,
the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah, that was my mistake.
There's one more.
The Cavaliers advanced. They beat the Hawks. They sweep the Hawks. 4 games to nothing. So not much really we could talk about that. I just wanted to bring this up. Right, the Cavs scored 100 or more points in each of those 4 games, and they held the Hawks to under 100 points in 3 of the 4, so that was very impressive for them, offensively and defensively.
Yeah, and they set the NBA record for the most three-pointers in a series.
And
they set the record for the most three-pointers in a game. So
we talked about that one last week.
Dominating performance.
A series-wide dominating performance.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But they don't take on anybody right now because they're still waiting for the outcome of the Raptors and the Heat. And you wrote down that they play Game 6 tonight at 8 o'clock.
8 p.m. Eastern Time. Yes.
Eastern Standard Time.
Raptors Heat. Do you think this goes into Game 7 really quick? Or do you think that the Raptors finish it up tonight?
All my predictions for basketball has been terrible, so I would say the the Raptors would win. That's the original John prediction, but since my predictions are always wrong, I say it goes to Game 7.
And who do you think wins in Game 7?
I'm thinking the Raptors win, but again, I'm going to go completely opposite and say the Heat win because my predictions for basketball have been atrocious so far. So the Heat win in 7.
Okay. Yeah, I think the Raptors will finish it up tonight. That's just an easy.
That's what I would have thought, but I'm wrong with all my predictions. So
let's go. We're looking for the Cavaliers against either the Raptors or the Heat. That'll be our discussion for next week, along with the progress of Golden State versus the Thunder, which that series begins on Monday. So let's go into our final thoughts.
We have 2 more things we want to talk about.
We want to talk about Steph Curry, and then we're going to go into our player of the week. So
real quick, Steph Curry. He won the MVP second in a row, consecutive years. And the big thing about this, because everybody expected it, this big thing is the fact that he won unanimously.
Yeah. The discussion hasn't really been Steph Curry's the MVP.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
The fact that he's the first player in NBA history to win it unanimously, that's the conversation. And it's still really not much of a conversation because if you're going to argue with it, you're really facing one of the best seasons from one of the best shooters in the game. So there's not much of an argument.
If it were to happen sooner or later, I would say this season by Curry is one of the deserving
series. It beats Ken Griffey getting it in the MLB.
Yeah, Ken Griffey, what he alluded to, he got the most votes to get into the Hall of Fame on his first ballot.
Yeah.
And we know for a fact, everybody would agree, he's not the best player. But the thing is,
I think
better players
agree that Steph Curry is not the best player, but at least he's one of the best shooters, and he's had one of the best seasons.
Yeah, it's not like they gave it to some random guy. But that's all we have to say about the MVP.
So let's go into our player of the week.
This is our segment of the week, where all 3 of us, because our correspondent in Missouri, Ethan Illers, has also put in his 2 cents on who he thinks should be the player of the week. So I'll start off with that.
Sure.
He said Brian McCann. Now McCann, he did better, obviously, if we include this from last Wednesday, but we're including the week from last Friday, May 6th, to this Friday. So McCann's number is still good. He's 7 for 23, 2 runs, 1 home run, 6 RBIs. So that's pretty good.
I disagree.
Well, again, Ethan did it under the impression that last Wednesday, and he had 3 home runs then, and he had 7 RBIs. If you do, and he was batting.
I'm sorry, what was that? He had how many?
If you count last Wednesday,
yes.
Till now, he had 3 home runs and 7 RBIs. That was Wednesday to Wednesday. That's when he picked.
Okay,
but
I still disagree.
We'll stop confusing you guys, and we'll move on to Raphael. I have stats here if you want to look at it, but self-explanatory. Who did you pick?
Yeah, I picked Mad Max Scherzer because 20 strikeouts in a game. First time that's happened since 1998. I believe it was a Cubs pitcher who did it. Only the 5th time in MLB history a pitcher's had 20 or more strikeouts. He had exactly 20. For the week that we're counting, he's had 27. That's just basic self-explanatory.
He gave up 7 runs in his last game last Friday.
John, do you want to say that?
Do you want to allude to that?
Well,
this overshadows. You're saying the 20 strikeout game overshadows anything that happened last week.
Far more than it's undershadowed. Yes.
Okay. So we'll move on to my pick. It is back to basketball. I picked Kevin Durant, and just because, look, Oklahoma City won. No one expected that, and he had a great series. From last Friday till now, he's played in 4 games. He had 26 points, 41, 23, 37. Rebounds and assists over the course of those 25 and 14 over those 4 games. Overall, his points in those games combined 127. So he had a masterful series.
If they were going to win that series, they needed a performance from that.
Oh, obviously,
and they got it.
Yeah.
So for Raphael Leah and John Jackson, this has been the Man Cave. Thank you, guys.